Alright, we're back. Sorry for the overly long pause there. Oh, my sound isn't gonna work with this, isn't it? Alright, let's there you go. Oh, that looks nice in the nice. Okay. So yeah, we played some Slab. It's time to go back to doing some Final Fantasy for like a little bit. I think that we were supposed to start going into the secret cave at this point. Yeah, this thing. And yeah, let's see what happens. So yeah, no, I've been helping Josh, I think at this point for like almost 2 years with. You could do worse, for sure. Nehru is a lovely lady. She has a lot of interesting things to say. So yeah. But yeah, I've been helping. Alright, let's see how hard the monsters are here. That is not too bad. Should have prayed, but it's fine. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage. But yeah, I've been helping Josh with. Oh, right, it could be because this is not the right camera. Let me beat this encounter, and then okay. Then I'll fix it. I'll do these and then these. Yeah. There you go. Much better now. So yeah, I've been helping Josh for in the last it's about a couple of years with playtesting the game. There's this same rule system with relatively minor changes, supports 2 main types of play, which are the superhero RPG that you've seen. I'm actually just going to let it go back up. That you have seen, they've seen us playing on stream, and there is also a more straightforward, a more classic, straightforward fantasy game. That was pointless. And those are what we're talking about. The fantasy version is called Wardanio. And the other version is called Slab. The superhero version is called Slab. And the superhero version kind of was born out of Matt telling Josh, hey, what if we try to make this game into a superhero game? Especially since Josh definitely took a lot of pages out of the superhero book to build the fantasy version anyway. And yeah, I mean, in like 2 weeks, he kind of built out of nowhere all the differences that we needed to have for the other version. Oh, this one absorbs everything. Interesting. Camera. and yeah, that's what we're playtesting now. It's very, again, you've heard both me and Steve reminisce about some of our past characters. Shen belonged to a class named the Realist, and the stick of the Realist is that he essentially gets reality manipulating power based around the idea that a person's reality is just the sum of the things that they are. Oh shit! That he or she is perceiving. These things are not dealing as much damage. So you kind of got all of these like illusory. You know what? Okay, that's gonna be rough. Confirm that was rough. Okay. But now we have our party set up again, so hopefully this is the last. The second one was a lot easier. So yeah, we hand over all these powers that could warp reality, but warping what people thought the reality was. And well, I took it and ran with it. I started doing this thing where Shen's shtick was that he had entirely too much power for him to be actually able to control said power efficiently or in any way, really. No chest, for shame. So, okay, there's like a ceiling thing. Sure, you know what, let's take a look at that thing. Okay. And really? Oh, it's gonna take us home there. There we go. Define super 10 point. Balex and I had a couple ideas on how to maybe look into maybe combining our two tournaments. Yeah, that was my idea. To be honest. Oh wow. My idea there was I don't want to put people in this position where they're forced to play on Saturday and Sunday, so I was kind of going to add like a Saturday track and a Sunday track to both events, and make it so that top 4 of the Saturday tournament and top 4 of the Sunday tournament would kind of lead into the same thing. There's a couple of differences in terms of how Balex and I want to organize things that we're trying to iron out. We'll see how that goes. If it turns out that it just doesn't work, and it just doesn't work. But my hope is that we get to cooperate rather than compete with each other there. Well, I mean, it is MTGO. So, I don't think it's having trouble tonight. I think it's just, that's just how MTGO works. One more attack for Rydia. Okay, good job, Kane. You actually attacked the person I wanted you to. One more attack from Rydia should clear that one up. There you go. It's a nice attack. Alright, Kane, bring us home. There you go, Kane. Good job. So yeah, that is. But yeah, I'm definitely into just having a Saturday 10th point that is not streamed. I would love if it was streamed, but I also like I'm not gonna put bail into like, hey, stream this thing. Plus, I think it's nice to have an. I think it's nice to have an out to, you know, because streaming can like put some people off, and I think it would be good to have an avenue where people that don't feel comfortable doing that. There you go. 3 Gaia drums. Let's go. Wait, what the fuck? There's no door. Okay, that's not too bad. It doesn't have any weaknesses. How about I summon a Chocobo then? How about we do that? Though I'm starting to suspect it might not even get all the way through because I did not actually target this guy. Man, the Avenger is such a stupid weapon. Every time I see that, I'm like, what? How? Good job, Chocobo. Okay, so that is an unexpected development. This whole cover plus counter combo on Cecil is super sweet. Okay. Bio, I guess. Okay, that's good. We might kill this thing pretty soon. Oh, never mind, it's dead. But we might kill this thing pretty soon, I mean it's dead. This very attack, exactly. So there was a door. There just happened to be a monster in it. Let's go see what's in here. Looks like some chests to me. We'll probably want to like undo the silence on Cecil at some point. Either way. The either way, so yeah, basically with Shen, it was kind of like this journey of trying to make sure that for Shen, it was basically a journey of trying to find his place in the world and trying to figure out what life and, you know, his life meant and how he was supposed to deal with everything. Hazel was a little bit of a different thing. Oh boy. Hazel was definitely not maladjusted in the same way that Chen was. Hazel was just an asshole. He spent most of his life having. Well, I think it's not correct to say he spent most of his life having nothing, but you know, he spent most of his life being a normal human being. And then, like, he's the curtain opened on him of being like, oh, actually, it turns out you can be this kind of incredibly powerful, near superhuman character with unbelievable firepowers and also firepower. He was a DPS character. And yeah, he really like took to that. He suddenly, out of a sudden, he was like, "Yep, we are going to get all murdery and just strive for more and keep striving for more until we are sated." And I don't know that he's gonna be sated. Sadly, I didn't get to write his or to roleplay his whole character arc. Because we are taking a break from that campaign real quick. We might come back to it later on. We'll see what it looks like. But for now, we're not. So this is 100% another evil door of evil. So I'm gonna save state. Yeah, it's a monster. No, Kane, why? Okay, let's see if we manage to heal this thing before it casts a sound attack. Kane not hitting is not good news from the point of view. Let's see how it goes. Okay, no, we're probably doing it. This attack might be lethal. Yeah, there you go. We didn't even have to deal with the monster coming out of it. Kotetsu. How do you feel about Kotetsu, Edge? It's better? It's worse than the Kikuichimonji. I mean, not that we can just buy ethers, but if we figure out we can just buy ethers, I'm a lot less enthused about finding them, but you know, we have a bunch. It's not bad though. And yeah, the character that I'm doing right now, Dave, this is only like, you know, it usually takes me a while to find the real stride. So far, the vibe that I've gotten from him is that he's kind of like he just doesn't care. He has he hasn't really found what he wants to do. It's not quite to the level where Shen is, where like in Shen's case, it was a case of the word just dealt him a very weird hand, and he needed to figure out how to play it. That's what Dave's led a perfectly normal life up until, you know, his 17th year of life, and that's when... Oh, arrives, thank you. I'm so glad that that's a thing. He is... Well, that's when the weirdness started. In the World of Slab, there are these phenomenons, which is a concept actually I came up with. I'm gonna take credit for that one. There are these phenomenons called weirdquakes, and essentially they are fluctuations. They are these localized. They create these localized areas in both space and time, meaning it's just an area. Fine, Shadzar. I'll fix that. Sorry, I was playing a tabletop role-playing game earlier tonight. I'm gonna finish this encounter and then I'll fix it. We were playtesting actually online a tabletop role-playing game earlier, and then we stopped, I don't know, a little bit ago, and I just forgot to change the category because I wasn't done streaming. I wanted to stream a little bit more, and yeah, it turns out Anyway. Anyway, welcome to the stream. While I fixed this real quick. I was actually talking about some of the characters that I had been playing in recent times. Don't remember what my usual tags are, so we're gonna roll with these. Yeah, no, I was a little reminiscing about some of the characters, but what we have been doing with what I have been doing recently, well, the last couple of years at this point, but online specifically recently. A friend of mine has been building his own homebrew tabletop RPG, and I've been part of the playtest team for it. I've been helping playtest. I've been running like a few different characters. We're trying to like push things to the edge, see what breaks, what doesn't. It's been really a blast. But yeah, don't think I've seen you around before. How goes? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I get it. It's a monster. But yes, I know that supposedly my category shouldn't be tabletop role-playing. I was legitimately playing some tabletop RPG. I just forgot to change the category now. Can we murder this thing, please? Oh yeah, King gets to go. Yeah, we can definitely murder this thing. We can get all murdered. Really? Nothing. It's a monster, what a surprise! Who would have guessed that this door wasn't a real door? What? Is that yellow bar like... its eyebrows? Or is that like something coming out of the door? I am confused, old. By the way, I don't think that I had seen you around. That I don't think you're in the chat anymore, Shadzar. But if you want to save some tabletop role-playing action, every Tuesday I start around 8:30 Eastern time, and we have our weekly sessions for this homebrew RPG that we've been playtesting. So if you want to show up, that's the time to do so. Sadly, now it's getting late, and it's getting too late to actually still be playing, because the other people that I play with are like, you know, human beings with families and works, and I mean, I also have a job, but I can work from home and make my own schedule, so I don't have to go to bed early, I guess. I don't know about this back attack. I love that some monsters are really just like girls hanging from the ceilings, and that's the monster. Kane has spoken. We focus fire on that one. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay. Seriously, did we just deal 5,000 damage to this thing and it wasn't even a crit? What's wrong with you? Like, what the hell, man? I'm sorry to just keep randomly eating. This salsa is very good. I started today in this position where I had this kind of a craving for chips and salsa, and by the end of the day I managed to make it happen because I had programmed to go get some groceries today anyway, so that's where we're at, but... Should have played with Rosa. We will absolutely make it happen. Guys, we found the door. Oh no, it's a monster. I didn't heal from that place. That could be potentially a problem. No, this thing is not gonna deal us any damage. It's fine. These things have 14,000 HP or 12,000 HP, something like that. And I would like to point out that they're supposed to be like mini bosses, right? But Kane deals more than half of their health with 2 attacks. It's a monster. What a surprise. Oh no. And dead. Sweet. If this chest is also a monster, I swear. That wasn't the chest. It was just a random encounter right in front of it. I mean, Cecilia has point that we should leave the guy in the back alone, but for now, but it's still the most scary monster in this fight. Wonder if maybe I should focus fire on that regardless of what Cecil does. Because Cecil has attacked the wrong guy again. Or in this case, the wrong girl. I think I'm just gonna keep at it. Yeah. Lydia, come on. Holy smokes. Hour of Reckoning? The hell is Hour of Reckoning? Hour of Reckoning. Core available W destroy all non. Oh, it's that one. What the hell? Lustrous. So significant downgrade with respect to the axe. Wait, what? Wait, why are we using this thing instead of the defender? Oh, because defender also. I see. Yeah, if we're going to go, just go ham. I guess is the thing. It gives us a bunch of strength. No, the lustrous sword is holy element. We lose. Oh, 25 attack is a bit rough. I think I'm gonna hit the ogre killer. Yeah. You get out of reckoning, I'm sure it was a massive blowout because people wouldn't play that card otherwise. It's now come to my conclusion that I still haven't actually healed since I ate that blaze a little bit ago, but I'll remember at some point, I swear. But it is commander decking can land it. That's what you're saying. Weird. Hey. Hey, so what do you think that this is a real door? Oh no, it's a monster instead. I forgot to heal again, but like these are not real fights, you know? Like the doors are so non-threatening with Kane doing as much damage as he does. Okay, now let's actually heal. Magic. Cecil. White magic. Cute. Looks like Rosa had already done most of the work there. Ooh, that's a lot of chests. Light curtain. MTGO is a quality program. Incredibly well written software. I mean, to be fair, their servers probably weren't designed to withstand the absolute nonsense that must happen in terms of online plays this day, but... Oh neat, we got to hit the thing for free. And it's that. I don't think I've seen any of these, like, lesser Mariliths, I guess, attack. I'm also, not gonna lie, a little concerned about the fact... Thank you, MTGO. Never a bad program in any way, shape, or form. Elixir. Fuma shooting. Huh. That's throwable. I think, right? Power 200? Excuse me? The sure hands have power 50, and they deal crazy damage. Holy smokes! Okay, well, we're gonna keep that one for the future. So we can eat about one of those. So if we take another blaze to the face, we are kind of in trouble. I don't think it's gonna happen. But the amount of fire arrows I've dropped tonight. See. Everybody's back at a decent amount of healthy. Hey, JPSS, do you think that this is gonna be a trap? Oh, it's a monster. How could I have guessed it wasn't a regular door? That has never happened before. Yeah, I mean, the story equity on that one is pretty real. Oh yeah, this thing is mega dead. We're never gonna actually play with those, I know. We are too good at murdering these things. How did it figure out that well, what you wanted to say was not a deck, which is a common word that people normally use, but rather you want to talk about the digital to analog converter. Like, what? So we ate another blaze, so that wasn't ideal, I wouldn't say, but... Oh god, oh no, oh no. As I was saying, we can take about one of those stupid blazes, and the moment that it cast to in the same encounter, everything went shitty. One of the most pear-shaped I've seen anything goes at any point. Yeah, checks out. You would want your magic big box back. What a surprise, it's another monster. Oh, okay, we got the playoff. Nice. So, the biggest issues that I have in terms of writing stuff is that because half of the people that I know are here in the States, but I also have a bunch of contacts in Italy that I talk to pretty frequently. I have my phone set up so I can switch from having the autocorrect work in Italian or English, whichever is preferable. Yeah, I'll burn it paint. No reason not to. And sometimes you end up in a position where I don't notice that I haven't switched the language back, and I try to type in English while I have the Italian autocorrect on, or the other way around, and boy, there's some you see some stuff, like my sentences tend to, at that point, become complete gibberish. It's pretty funny. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm with you there. Like, where are you going to keep your magic sticks? Otherwise, you know? No. Okay. The amount of evil doors that try to heal us that we have murdered tonight is honestly another Kotetsu, but we have the Kikuichi Monjis, so those are Black Cowl. Can you wear a Black Cowl? Oh, you can wear a Black Cowl, but it's actually worse than a Gold Hairpin. Except for evasion. Kinda both. The way that it works is that Italian schools, as schools in most non-English speaking countries, will try to teach English, will start teaching Hindi. Like, you will take basically English classes every year of your life, up until you're done with high school. Because that's the reality of living in a world where English is the lingua franca. You kind of have to speak English on top of your language, pretty much no matter what. So the way that it ends up working is that you absolutely learn English across the way. The quality of how well you're taught English varies. I was fortunate in which my school did a relatively good job, especially my high school did a relatively good job of teaching me English, but I did go out of my way somewhat. My characters, for fuck's sake. My parents, especially my mom, was a big believer that I needed to speak English to a level of like almost fluency. Like my English needed to be good. So she arranged for me to take some conversational classes with with some native English speakers while I was in high school, and that definitely helped a lot. For sure, I should have played with those. Huh. Oh, never mind. We're fine. So yeah, that is the reality of it. Obviously, you know, I was still pretty rough around the edges. Yeah, while playing role my English was pretty rough around the edges. What are the words that I'm saying around the edges up until I moved to the States, obviously, because you don't really. That's not the sort of thing where you are ever gonna be. You're never gonna ever be like, you know. I don't think you can be fluent in a language without speaking it every day for at least a significant portion of your life. I mean, maybe you can, but it definitely wasn't that way for me. But you know, like my level before moving to the States wasn't 0. Like it was decent, but it definitely was worse than what you're hearing right now. Obviously, my accent is still kinda rough, but there is a bit of a different problem. Plus, you know, it's charming. I'm told that people like it, so. I actually also know some amount of Spanish. I took about 3 years worth of Spanish during high school. I don't get to use my Spanish a whole lot, so I'm pretty rusty, and honestly, because I've never lived in a Spanish-speaking country, like, you know, it's very rough around the edges. I can barely make myself understood, and the big issue is vocabulary. That's very limiting part. It's nice. I think that's the way forward, so I'm not gonna go there quite yet. So yeah, my Spanish is definitely not particularly good, but it exists. I'm kind of helped by the fact that Spanish and Italian are relatively similar languages. For fuck's sake, languages to each other, so I get to kind of like, let me talk to you about how at least my brain processes language, right? Like, in order for my English sentences to make any sense in a way that, like, would not just make an English speaker, like, cringe when I talk, I have to actually think in English. I have to actually, like, the way that the sentence is formed within my brain as I talk is just already in English. Like, there is no point in which I created in Italian and then translate. I know that the point is, and I can do that with English because my English is very good and I have a good knowledge of the language. My vocabulary is really good. I'm like, you know, at this point I'm used to it. I can talk pretty freely. I'm definitely not at this point in Spanish. Part of it because my vocabulary is really small in terms of, like, you know, just person ever lived there. So it turns out that you don't learn what, say, a wheelbarrow is called in a language until you are put in a situation of having to talk about the wheelbarrow, because that's not what most language schools, like, you know, it doesn't come up. Like, you don't really build a vocabulary that is extensive enough to be fluent. You build a vocabulary that is extensive enough to be to like hold conversations to a certain degree, but fluency, the vocabulary that is necessary for fluency, just but is the vocabulary that you need in order to be actually truly fluent with the language is just not something it's very easy to achieve without being immersed in it, I don't think. No, wait, we're going back up? What's happening? So that is a big limiting factor. The help they have is that because the grammar structure of Spanish and Italian is very similar, you can kind of put yourself in a position where I can actually think of the sentence in Italian, and if my vocabulary was large enough, I would be able to probably just kind of translate on the fly and create the same sentence in Spanish, with a few exceptions, you know, like there's a little bit of constructs that you have to like watch, like, you know, learn your way around, but in general it's similar enough that I could just think in Italian and translate in Spanish and reach a final product that is a lot closer to something a Spanish speaker would come up with if I rather than what. Interesting. Rather than if I were to do the same thing with English, but the problem is that my library of Spanish words is just not large enough. Like I can't do that because I can't like my brain will think about a sentence in Spanish and I will come halfway through and be like, actually I don't know what that verb is. And also there is the fact that we all use some of the like conjugations of verbs. You know, I'm a lot rusty on a lot of those. It's just hard to those are things that kind of get ingrained with yeah, but even among Romance languages, like Spanish and Italian are a lot more similar to each other than, say, French and Italian, for example, in terms of how their grammar works. Some of the other things, like, not exactly the same, but like, I have no idea what. I could probably not figure out what a Romanian speaker would tell in me if they were speaking to me. Even if they were speaking slowly, and that is actually a big problem with a lot of Spanish speakers. A lot of people that speak Spanish really fast, it turns out. And that's not the easiest for understanding. But there you go. Well, again, I legit studied Spanish in school for like multiple years, right? I was saying, but it's just. And even then, like, I think that if you put me, a Spanish speaker, and a few beers in the same room, we would probably be able to figure out what we were saying to at least some level. But it's like, there is a difference between being able to hold a conversation and being fluent in a language, right? Those are not the same thing, and that's simply what. I definitely don't have one of those. I have still quite a few Italian cards, but like random commons from Onslaught back when I was playing at that point. Guys, mega dead. Oh, yeah, they never printed these sort of specialty sets, like Eternal Masters. Usually they either print them only in English or like in English and Japanese or something. A lot of the time they don't print them in all the other European languages for whatever reason. Out of all of the Masters set they have printed, Eternal Masters might be my favorite draft format, actually, which is quite a high bar. The error bars on that statement are pretty big, because obviously I've only drafted all of them a handful of times. And actually Eternal Masters is probably the one I've drafted the most. I feel like I've drafted it... I probably drafted it like 10 times or something like that, right? But... fuck. Wait, what the fuck, Edge? You're at 48 life? What happened? Oh great, that was a great time to have our prayers unanswered. Holy shit. I would answer no. But also, I'm not sure I like Modern Horizons for the Eternal Masters anyway. To be fair, I've only drafted Modern Horizons a couple times, so it's possible that I actually have no idea. Like, you know, I know, like, the error bars that I have on how good that series are very big, which is why, for example, when people ask me about what my favorite draft formats are, I tend not to put master sets in the argument, because it's like, I've only drafted this thing like 4 times. How do I know how good it is? I need more data to actually form a full picture. I mean, I just didn't have the option. It ended up you know how this set work, right? Where like you end up in this position where they're only on the shelves for like a relatively short amount of time, and it just lined up with a period that I was out of town for work for like 2 weeks or something like that, and it just overlapped with the period that most of the period that was on the shelves. So I really only got to catch the tail end of how the format ended up working, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. It's still unfortunate because like it definitely like it was more available, right? Like more accessible in terms of money than a lot of these master sets, but it just didn't work. It just didn't line up with how my life was going at the point. I had to take this really extended work trip for I don't remember what reason, but a reason. Okay. Yeah, no, it turns out that I can't quite tell what your like body language is on account of being unable to see your body. Man, that buff is so dead. But yeah, I will make a point not to ask Henry if he agrees with you on like how exactly those events unfolded. Huh. Again, I still don't think I have seen one of those lesser Marlits take any game action. This is not gonna be the time that we see one. This might be the way forward, especially if this leads me somewhere that isn't just a small room. So I might... Oh shit, that is a yellow dragon. They do look kinda pretty. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. They have like this whole snake thing going. Not gonna lie, the moment that we find our next... Dead? No? Okay. Oh, but Kane has an attack now. Surely you're dead. Yeah, there you blue thing. Green and Rosa, leveled up. There we go, perfection. Not gonna lie, if at the moment I find our next saving point, I'm going to bed because it's starting to get a little late, but I don't want to backtrack all my way. Ah yes, Kinople's there, I've always said that. Oh, Kano people is net. Okay. Well, okay, that is a save point. But I don't want to leave a bunch of territory before me untracked. So what I will do is quickly finish exploring this floor. It's very small. There you go. 2 blue fangs. Kill this door. Then go back up, finish exploring the other floor that we're on, because that one's still uncharted. To yeah, it's pretty late. Oh, Kane. You just need to wait like 1 second and Rosa would have actually done her thing, but nope. Yeah, so we found that save point which I wanted. I'm gonna... Oh, shinies! Right. I mean, I don't even think that Kane is actually OP. I think that the Avenger is just a stupid weapon. Like... I can't tell if Quakertown is some sort of like thing that like the youth these days are saying, or if you were meant to say, oh, entertaining. Okay, good. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be back on Thursday. For a stream that's gonna last more than like streaming more than an hour and 20 minutes of Final Fantasy. We're really closing to winding down here. And yeah, thanks for showing up as usual. It's I really appreciate it every time. Okay, let's take a rope. So slowly and laboriously make our way up there. There you go. Finish exploring this floor, murdering doors as necessary. I might be using some amount of speed up during battles because you know, I want to get I want to be done. No level ups. For shame. Ooh, shiny. Silent bell. What's a silent bell? Whatever it is, I appear to have already had one of them. I should use this Soma drops, by the way. At some point. A silent bell. Cast silence. Okay. Well. Fair enough. from a certain point of view, that makes that the streams are working. Engaging people to a point where they think they're in the same room as me. Alright. We got through that one. What's in here? Nothing. Hey, good talk. Okay, blue fangs. Neat. You know, before I save, I will cast Sight. Because Sight will tell me if there's some sort of shenanigans in terms of, like, random chests that are all just off the map. That I might be missing. Wow, each of these tiny things has its own map. That is insane. Okay. I will now go into the next room and then just stop playing. Okay, so we still have stuff to go through, and this floor looks pretty big, so I think that's a good time to just call it. We're going to be done with it for tonight and be back in a couple days with some more Final Fantasy 4. I think we're kind of winding towards the end of the game. I believe we're almost there. Our levels definitely suggest that. Our top level characters are almost level like 70, so that's pretty dope. So yeah, that's exciting. With that, I think that I will see you all Thursday. Have a good night. Bye.